What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to some more World of Tanks. Today I have a review of the AMX M4 MLE 49 for you guys to check out. This first game is quite ridiculous as well, and I'm just going to put this out there. This tank, tier for tier, has the best armor in the game. The most effective armor in game, 3000%. Like, just, it's out there. It really is ridiculous. This is, in my opinion, the strongest and best tier 8 premium in game at present since being introduced. And I would highly recommend that you pick one up if it wasn't for the extortionate price that you're going to pay for one. It's very, very expensive. So, and the mega bundle as well, which includes the AMX 1357, is even more expensive. So if you do want to buy one, wait for the base bundle to come out, but the base bundle is expensive nonetheless. So I don't know, guys, my only recommendation is to say that maybe wait for this tank to come out when it's not the Heavy Metal Heroes version. If that ever happens, should that ever happen, wait for that to happen, and hopefully the gold price will be reduced, and then you'll pick up an awesome tank for a much smaller cost. But we're here on Pilsen, and we have finally made it over to where the enemies are situated, and aiming at the fatherland. Nice shot through his side, and we track him as well, getting some assisted hits from keeping him tracked and keeping these guys lit up as well. Nice shot straight through the front of the charioteer's turret, and we bounce his return shell. The armor profile of this tank is so good. So good. It's so thick. Like, frontally, the armor is impenetrable. I'm just going to put it out there. The only weak spot that you have... Nice kill on the J Panther there as well. But the only weak spot that you have is the commander's cupola. And if you can hide it like I'm doing here, hiding it behind cover and peeking and then taking shots, you're not going to get... Yeah, you're going to have a good time. But we've taken a shot to our side from a T-34 and a Super Pershing, which we can't see at present. Aiming for the T-34. Unfortunately, we don't manage to squeeze that shot through the gap. But we're going to reposition ourselves so as not to take any more damage. Aiming for the Super Pershing's weak point on top of his turret, but unsuccessfully. We track the T-34. And now we're just going to bounce the shells off our side armor, as you guys can see. It really, like, this tank epitomizes side scraping and just being an absolute monster. That's what this tank is all about. It is very, very, very good for a premium tank. I don't think a premium tank should be this good. It doesn't struggle with penetration. The penetration on the 100mm gun is very good. It doesn't struggle with poor damage output. It doesn't struggle with poor mobility for a heavy tank. And it doesn't suffer from poor armor. Really, this tank doesn't have any downsides. The only downside to this tank is the gold price. And nice finish off the fatherland there. We're going to push through the doors and focus on this Pershing now. But yeah, the only downside to this tank, in my opinion, is the gold price. That's it. Aside from that, it's an absolute must-have. Absolute must-have. And if you have the cash, then go ahead. Like, you will not regret buying this tank. It is fantastic. One of the best, if not the best, French premium tank to own. Definitely the best tier 8 premium tank in-game right now, in my opinion. And we have the damage gun, but we managed to squeeze that shot into the Jackson, which is always nice. Now we're going to swap our attention to the other side where the enemies are pushing through. But yeah, guys. Damaged gun. I mean, you got a big target to shoot at when it comes to the OI, so I just took that shot regardless, and we finished him off. And we're up to 8 kills. Sorry, 8 hits and 4 kills. We're up to 8 kills. God, I wish I was up to 4. Bloody 8 kills already in this game. Nice shot through the side of the motherland, but you are going to see, when this game finishes, the evidence of this tank being an absolute monster in terms of its armor. Tell me another tank that can pull this off. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 enemy tanks in front of me right now, and I am bouncing every single shot that they're firing at me. Every single shot that they're firing at me, I'm bouncing right now. Bounce. We even bounced one on the enemy AMX, and that was with APCR. To be fair, the T-34 did get a good shot through what I didn't know to be a weak point, which was pretty much where the gun sits is flat on the turret. But guys, observe all the bounces right now. Observe all of the bounces right now. It's ridiculous. I'm just bunkering here behind this pile of rubble, angling my armor slightly, and I mean the AMX did get a shot through my cupola. We get one more into the Pershing. We're bouncing more and more shells in the process, but the AMX is smart and takes us out by shooting us in the cupola. Again, that is the only frontal weak spot. The only frontal weak spot. This tank is absolutely ridiculous. 14 hits of damage, 8 critical hits, 3 tracked assisted hits, and 4 kills that game. But guys, let me turn your attention to the post-game stats. So taking a look at the post-game screenshot, you can see just how ridiculous this tank really is. 8,080 damage blocked in a tier 8 premium heavy tank. I say that, I put emphasis on that because the premium tank isn't supposed to be as good as the tech tree counterpart, but I can't think of one reason why this tank isn't as good as the AMX 5100. It's just not. It's not as good. The AMX 5100 has an autoloader, which is great, and it is a very, very deadly tier 8 heavy tank, but it's not really a heavy tank. It's just, therefore, pretty much a dangerous tier 8 medium tank, / tier 9 medium tank, because that's how it plays. But this thing epitomizes a heavy tank. This is everything that you want in a heavy tank. To be able to block 8,000 damage effortlessly in that game. I didn't even put that much effort into side scraping or like trying to produce angles for the enemy to bounce on, and we still blocked 8,080 damage, picking up the mastery badge on a loss, picking up cool-headed and a high caliber medal, racking up 192,927 silver with 2,805 XP from a loss. From a loss. It's crazy. This tank is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And if we look at the team stats, I mean, we didn't top our team by an absolute mile, but 3,676 damage done from that game was great. And we could have done so much more if we had a slightly better team around us. Easily. We easily would have done 4 or 5k damage that game. But looking at the statistics, we fired 22 shells, 17 of those directly hit the target and only 14 penned. But my gun was broken for, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes or so, which did hinder my performance slightly. But guys, I'm going to have to move on into the second game just to show you a little bit more. But that should give you some perspective on just how ridiculous the frontal armor on this tank is. Obviously, the side armor and rear armor is crap, and that's just how it is for most tanks. But the frontal armor, if you can produce your frontal armor to the enemy, you are damn near impenetrable. If you can hide that cupola, the commander's cupola on top of the turret, you are damn near impenetrable. The angles that the armor of this tank has and produces is just something else. But yeah, I need to stop rambling on. Guys, let's move on into the second game and I will catch you there very shortly. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second game. Here we are on mines, taking out the monstrosity that is the AMX M4 MLE 49. This tank is just ridiculous, as you have seen in the first replay. I mean, I cannot big it up enough. I can't. Sometimes I only have kind words for the tanks that get dished out, and this is one of those tanks. This is one of those tanks where I have kind words for the tank itself. But the price is ridiculous, and I'm not going to buy it because of the price. I'm not. I would not recommend it to somebody who doesn't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on this game. Plainly and simply. Aside from that, it's a very, very good tank. And here you are going to see that once again on mines. So we've pushed up to this location and we get a nice shot through the Goronish's side armor. Again, this gun doesn't struggle with penetration at all whatsoever. Straight through the front of the Swedish TD. Although we did get penned by the Ravioli, but he did shoot us in our side. And then we get hit and tracked by the GW Panther. But again, guys, look at how frontline this tank is. The Ravioli bounces that time. We're so far forward, bouncing ridiculous amounts of shots already. We're getting assisted hits for our team. And we're getting some damage ourselves as well. Unfortunately, bouncing off of the top of the Primo Victoria's turret armor. But it, with respect to him, is very well armored in the... or very well sloped, I should say, in the position that he is in. The Goronish is pushing forward. And we're going to aim for his cupola. Unfortunately, we missed. This isn't the most accurate of guns. That's probably the only thing that I could say about the gun that's bad. It's not the most accurate, but the rate of fire is good. The penetration is good. The accuracy isn't so bad that it makes you want to, throw your controller at the wall. It's good. It's manageable. And the only place that we can get penned, like the Primo did just then, is in our cupola. But we've got 5 assisted hits right now. Make that 6. We've secured a kill for ourselves as well. Make that 7. So in the position that we're in, we've been aggressive to just push to the point of assisting our teammates. Get everything behind us. The tank destroyer and the heavy tank behind us are having a hell of a time shooting at the Primo Victoria and the Goronish. But the Goronish is going to push forward. We get a nice shot through the Primo's side armor. And this guy's being hyper aggressive. We're going to track him in place. Wait for the guys behind us to shoot at him. But unfortunately, they bounce on this occasion. So we aim for the R2-D2. And we did get 1 tracked assisted hit there, as well as the clicks from the fire. And the Goronish is down. So up to 9 assisted hits now, 4 tracked assisted hits, and 7 hits of our own. But we are on half health, so we need to be careful. We track the Super Pershing in position. We're also in a position that is very vulnerable to artillery. But we can poke out enough to side scrape, have him bounce off of us, and go through the weak point on top of the Super Pershing's turret. We should beat his reload. He gets hit by one of our teammates, and we finish him off, successfully not being hit by artillery as well, who hit the rock instead. Which is strange, because the GW Panther is my nemesis down at this tier. But pushing the Primo Victoria now. We try and get a shot at his upper glacis, but that one bounces off. And we bounce his return shell, which gets eaten by our tracks. Well, we didn't bounce it, it got eaten by the tracks on the side. Should be able to finish him off here if he backs up a little bit more. And we go through the lower glacis, successfully finishing him off, taking us up to our 3rd kill of the game and our 10th hit of damage. So I'm going to sit behind this rock until artillery can't see us anymore. The Ravioli pushes up aggressively, and before he gets a shot away, we finish him off. 4 kills now. 4 kills. 11 hits of damage. And we want to get some more. But the amount of shells that we bounced in that engagement, once again, was just ridiculous. And we're going to push aggressively on the T-44 now. Nothing can hit us in the side. But I was a bit of a pleb here because I should have just kept pushing up. The GW Panther got a big hit on our rear armor. And unfortunately, that's taken us down to a 1 hit. But artillery's fine. Completely fine. But using our armor to our advantage, and the fact that the T-44 is stock, we go through his lower glacis. In fact, no, we don't. I thought we did on that one, but we didn't. But again, side scraping here, just monstrous. Through the lower glaciers that time though. The first time we bounced for some reason, and he's just going to side scrape, or we're just going to side scrape, bounce his shell, and then finish him off. So we're now in contention for a top gun. And I thought that the Swedish medium tank was going to fly around the corner here and try and take us out. But it seems that he stopped for some reason. But we poke out and get one shot at him. Unfortunately, it doesn't roll high enough for us to finish him off, and he gets taken out by the STA-1. Pushing for our 16th hit of damage now. But the T-34-2 is probably going to get taken out, and he does by the Hellcat. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, let me swap your attention to the post-game stats. So, taking a look at the post-game screenshot, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that I racked up 3,920 damage from 15 penetrations, destroying 5 enemy tanks along the way, spotting 3 enemy tanks, and we picked up 2,259 assisted damage, as well as blocking just shy of 3,000 damage with a figure of 2,880 damage blocked. For our performance, we were rewarded with the High Caliber Medal, the Mastery Badge, and a Steel Wool Medal, as well as a Sniper Medal, picking up a grand total of 1,333,403 silver and 6,632 experience with our daily double. I'm not really sure how we didn't pick up the Steel Wool Medal for blocking over 8,000 damage in the game on Pilsen, but Wargaming works in mysterious ways, so there you go. But if we look at the team stats, you can see that our base XP for that game was 2,105. So if you guys are trying to get a bearing on what kind of experience you need to bring home to secure the Mastery Badge, look no further than this. 2,105 base XP, so around 2,100 XP I would probably expect the Mastery Badge to come through. Bearing in mind that this tank is very powerful and the best players in the game will be undoubtedly performing very, very well in it. It's probably going to be one of those tanks that's quite hard to get a Mastery Badge in. I myself was fortunate enough to, but it might be a struggle. But embrace the challenge, guys. That's what this game is all about, after all. It's always more fun when it's challenging. But if we take a look at the statistics of that game, you can see that I fired 24 shells. 21 of those shells directly hit the target, and 15 penetrated. So, not bad gun stats whatsoever. The gun, I can't complain about the gun. The penetration is great. The aim time is average. It's just what you would expect. The accuracy is also average, what you would expect. I can't complain about it. It's not one of those ones. It's not one of those tanks that performs so inconsistently with the gun that I have to complain about it. It's just, it feels consistent. It feels exactly as I would expect it to. It's averagely accurate. The aim time is fine. The penetration is fine. It's very, very good. That's how I would summarize this tank. It's very, very good. Borderline OP. If not OP. Let's just put that out there. It just may be. It just may be. But it does have a frontal weak spot. It does have something that you can shoot when you're facing it from the front to negate how good the armor actually is. So it does have a weak spot. If it didn't have a weak spot, it would be outright OP. But it's just a very, very powerful tank. That's how I'm going to put it. And you can see we received 18 hits that game, and 14 of them didn't penetrate. So, go figure. Go figure. Ladies and gentlemen, I highly recommend that you pick up this tank if you want a very powerful Tier 8 premium heavy tank in your garage, and if you have enough money to splash, because like I said, it's very expensive. Very, very expensive. So if you have the cash, go ahead. But if you don't have the cash, like I said before, wait for this tank to come out without the camouflage, without the Heavy Metal Heroes version, wait for the non-reskin to come out, which should be cheaper, based off of what has happened in the past, with examples being the Motherland, and then the T-54 prototype was launched and it was cheaper. So that's kind of how it works. The reskin is always more expensive than the non-reskin. But guys, I can't recommend this tank enough. I really can't. Sometimes, you know, there's always a little gripe that I have about a tank, but not on this one. We're done. This video is done. I am done. It's good. You should buy it, but you should probably watch your wallet at the same time. So that's my summary, and I hope you did enjoy this video. I will catch you in the next one. Until then, boyos, have a wicked day, and peace out.